Hi, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host, Eddie, and in today's video, I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and super shocking mid-season finale for Fear the Walking Dead Season 7. Now, technically, this doesn't drop till next week. Next Sunday, December 7th on AMC. However, for those of us who have an AMC Plus subscription, the episode dropped today. So I just got done watching it, really liked it. I think it set the stage for something pretty exciting. Before I get into all of that, and I keep talking for too long and too much, of course, like I always do, please be warned, this is obviously a spoiler-filled review video. So if you're not caught up on Fear the Walking Dead by this episode or the latest episode, which is episode 7 of Season 7, you do not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing and going into pretty big spoilers. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. Well, first and foremost, great to see Alicia again. Interesting backstory we got with her. I was super shocked when I saw her get bit, and considering how long she took to actually amputate her hand, I'm like, is it too late? Like, if it's too late, how is she still breathing? Or was like she imagining all of this, and when she woke up saying Will, but when we saw the note that he had left her, it's like, oh no, this is real. She's not dreaming or hallucinating any of this. This is all happening. So great looking arm prosthetic too, using her own skeletal hand and attaching it to the rest of that shit. That was pretty cool looking, gnarly. I just mentioned this in my earlier video I did just now a few hours ago for my review to the series finale for that show, and I mentioned how, if you're not going to kill a character off, you're at least going to amputate them or have them lose a limb. And that's exactly what happened in both shows here. Sorry if I'm dropping any spoilers for the series finale for Walking Dead World Beyond, but you'll be happy to know the person in question doesn't die. They do lose a limb, but they don't die. And that's what happened here on Fear as well. It's like, if you're not going to kill Alicia, at least not yet, you're going to have her lose a limb first to have her undergo a significant transformation, both physically and emotionally. And I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for here. And she does not look good, and it is entirely possible the infection will still eventually kill her because she just took too long to amputate her hand right away. But it's also possible she just might be sick from the multiple other things that Morgan was rattling off earlier in this episode too. And once again, the show does what it does best when it's like just when you think a new light is shining brightly ahead, something comes along and snuffs it out. And that thing that snuffed it out in this case was that Strand sincerely seemed to want Alicia and her people, not Morgan, but the rest of her people, to join them at the tower. But then, of course, right as they're about to make an agreement, she notices out of the corner of her eye a walker, and it's not just any walker, but her friend Will, and confirms it via the necklace she gave him. And then, of course, she immediately suspects the worst, and Strand confirms it, does not lie to her, beat around the bush. He tells her, yes, I did it, and I did it to hurt you, to keep you away from the tower so that I can run the tower the way I need to, or the way he tries to convince himself and everybody else that the way he needs to. But throughout this episode, you could see that Strand was clearly hurting or pining for a familiar face again, and that was Alicia. Because like he said, she really is the closest thing he has left to family anymore. And now he may lose that either in this apparent little civil war they're about to have between Strand's tower and Alicia's people and everybody else on the outside, or maybe she'll eventually succumb to her wound and will die with this bad blood being between them without any peace ever being made ever. So who knows what can happen. I mean, the show can really pull a 180 when it wants to, for the good or for the bad. So we'll see what happens. Normally with a mid-season finale, we get a big character death. And in this case, we got one that was kind of teased or implied, but it may not happen till the end of the season. And since we didn't get an actual death, we got the loss of an arm, or, Alicia's amputation. And she is a legacy character. She's been on the show since season 1, one of the few season 1 characters who remain besides Strand. So that was pretty shocking to see her get bit, and then it's like, God, if she sustained such a wound, how is she still breathing? Oh, ouch, damn. Also got some answers or clarity on that new bad guy, the redhead with the ponytail, who was calling himself Arnold or Arno, maybe? It was hard to tell. So what I suspect might happen is that Alicia's going to be angry now because Strand killed her friend Will. She's going to rally her people to attack the tower. Morgan will probably be right there. Or maybe not, because Grace and the baby are in there. And Strand still has them, so he could easily threaten them too. But it feels like Arnold and a few of his people are still out there, and they still want the tower for themselves. So, this civil war or war between Alicia and Strand may not necessarily come to a head. It might get close, and then they might reunite once again to take on the real enemy, which is that Arnold prick and his followers, the ones who were launching the walkers with that awesome-looking catapult last episode. Because these are the crazies who were still the followers of Teddy. I like how Alicia went along with it too, to save and spare Will's life, and got them to accept her and him, even though they had to talk the crazy language. So overall, good episode. Really liked it. I think it set the stage for something pretty exciting, whether that's a war between Alicia and Strand's respective groups, or maybe the continuing threat of Arnold and his followers, however many that may be. Who knows? I am convinced that Padre is a real place. I just think nobody else has found it yet. I also love the fact that you would do something like that if you were so completely desperate to find a safe new place for your people to live, and you had no maps, no clues, no evidence whatsoever where this place was. You would use a walker as a homing beacon. That was acceptable and believable to me. I totally understood her logic with that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out since it was drawn to the big light in Strand's tower, but I think, her reasoning was pretty solid. So overall, really liked it. I'm excited for the second half. No idea when that's going to drop. Probably sometime early next year, maybe in the spring, right after the next 8 episodes of The Walking Dead, because that show's coming back in February of next year. And that'll probably go till that spring, and then the spring is probably when Fear will return for its next 8 episodes. So we'll see. Stay tuned and subscribe to this channel for more news and everything Walking Dead related. What did you guys think of this mid-season finale? Would love to get your feedback and hear about this from you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first half of Season 7 as I did. I'm feeling kind of conflicted about it because I hate seeing characters who have been through so much together going up against each other after such a short period of time. But then again, nothing is set in stone, so who knows what can happen. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your week if I don't see you. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.